Wilson Fisk, the Kingpin of crime, is just Donald J. Trump in the Marvel Universe. That's a comparison that pretty much everybody has made after watching Daredevil Born Again. Now the star of Daredevil Born Again tackles this comparison head on, and he says, no, not really. So it's not really a surprise that anybody who's watched Daredevil Born Again has said, hold up a second. Is it just me, or does Wilson Fisk sort of seem like a very on-the-nose interpretation or version of the real world of Donald Trump in the Marvel Universe? Everybody's brought this up. And there are some very interesting and scary parallels to run with what's going on in the real world and this show. Whether or not coincidental or not, again, who really knows what they were going for. But the connection has been brought up by everybody. It's just sort of interesting that the way that they've portrayed Wilson Fisk and some of what he's doing and saying is mirroring real life in a very scary way. Well, recently, star of Daredevil, Charlie Cox, was on hand with IGN to talk about everything that's going on, and they specifically brought up the comparisons to Trump. And Charlie Cox had this to say, and I quote, "I think it's really important at this point to say that those similarities, if people see them, are purely coincidental. That really is the case. If you think about it, Vincent D'Onofrio built the character in 2014. In 2014, if you said the name of the president and the word president, you'd have been laughed at." End quote. Now, yeah, I think it's fair what he's saying, and I think that's true, but also he's kind of dancing around it, right? Because there are similarities. It's sort of like how Biff Tannen, the actor that played Biff in Back to the Future, said when he modeled older Biff Tannen in the future, he said, "What if the world was dumb enough to elect Donald Trump? I'm going to go with that." And that's what he based Biff on. Again, sometimes it's coincidental, but the writers who work on Daredevil have talked about the geopolitics and how they used it, and you can tell that some of that writing and what they were seeing and what they're saying was put into Kingpin. That much is clear. You can't have this version of Daredevil and not go political. Daredevil's always been political. From the concept of him cleaning up Hell's Kitchen, when Hell's Kitchen was literally hell in New York, to how Daredevil has been a more grounded character, has always been set in a real world and affected by real world politics. All you have to do is read Daredevil, So I get what they're saying, and I see it, and I see what Charlie Cox is saying, and it is a little strange and weird. And yeah, the similarities are there, but are they intentional? That's, I guess, for you to decide, but to me, I feel like they're 100% intentional. There's no way that they aren't, Like, you'd have to kind of be brain dead to believe it's not intentional to do that. Thank you for checking out that video, and thank you for your continued support. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, do whatever you will, and if you're so inclined and would like some additional content from us, which includes unfiltered content and bonus discussions, we do offer exclusively in our member section. We hope to see you there. So thank you for watching, and have a good one.